It's time to speak up. ICE is now removing undocumented foster children from their foster homes. Removing foster children from their foster homes for deportation. Y'all, I've been working in the foster care system for 28 years. I'm a former foster mom, and I adopted 4 children from foster care and fostered many others. And I have represented hundreds of children who are in foster care. And one thing all of these children have in common is they have all been through trauma to one degree or another. We are taking children who have already been through trauma and removing them from foster homes for deportation. There will be a reckoning for this in this life or the next. For those of you who are supporting this, there will be a reckoning for this in this life or the next. And for those of you who are sitting silently by while these atrocities are unfolding before our eyes.
All right, Shalom Akim, Shalom, Shalom. All right, this is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Come with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this be edifying. All right, quick, straight to the point, man. And before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chaha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And Shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the 4 corners of the earth, you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations, but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. Peace and blessings to you all. Shalom, wa chasadim, wa barakim. All right, peace, mercies, and blessings to you all, man. And I'm just gonna get this out there. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing a change. All right. In Babylon the Great, and this change is happening very rapidly, very, very rapidly. All right, you can clearly see that the Lord is he's speeding this thing up, man. You know what I'm saying? And we're seeing this devil showing his horns, man. The whole countenance has changed. All right, and he's taking off that mask, as I've said before. You know what I'm saying? There's no more talk of peace, right? Let's start off with that scripture real quick. All right, bear with me, Akim. All right, this is the book of Jeremiah. Okay, Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 11. And it reads, For they have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying, Peace, peace, when there is no peace. All right? You know, you Israelites have been living under a delusion, man, for a long time. All right? Beginning with you so-called Negroes, down to the Latinos, Hispanics, Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have been living under a delusion. You thought that these Edomites cared about you. You thought that these devils was all about your safety. You know what I'm saying? You've been under this false dichotomy for a very long time, man. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord is breaking that. He's breaking that illusion right before your eyes, man. You know what I'm saying? Where we're seeing these devils doing things like this. All right. And they're moving fast, man. They're moving fast, and they're not wasting any time to let you know how they really feel, man. You know what I'm saying? All these goofy ass memes talking about Dora the Explorer's deported and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? All right, they telling you straight to your face. They telling you straight to your face how they feel about you niggas. All right. Every last one of you out of all the tribes, you know what I'm saying? Because they're not talking this tough talk to these Europeans that came over here. illegally. They're not talking all this stuff to these Chinese that came over here illegally. You know what I'm saying? The so-called Arabs who came over here illegally. All right, and Persians that came over here illegally. You see what I'm saying? That they're focused on you tribes because that's the target. That's the target. You see what I'm saying? And that's always been the target. Okay? So I want to get you to hear this video. All right? Let me get this real quick. Bear with me. All right, so I was first brought to this to the attention of this guy on TikTok when I was listening to Elder Malcolm's video, and he showcased another video of this man's reporting, and you know what I'm saying, he makes the case very clear that he's not a reporter, he's not a news outlet or anything like that. All he does is just bring actual facts. You know what I'm saying, things that are these analysis that have come to his desk from all the different mediums that he uses to investigate these things. You know what I'm saying? Flight patterns, documents, things of that nature, things that have been accessible to the public, and he has done due diligence in recording these things, all right, and compiling all this data. All right, so the one video that Elder Malcolm had shared, all right, is not on TikTok. All right, they've taken that down. As a matter of fact, as I've been finding out, what they've been doing with this guy is they have been taking down so many of his videos, regarding this subject. All right, so many of his videos, they was taking it down, and he kept having to appeal and appeal and appeal. You know what I'm saying? Let me take this off real quick. All right. So, with those appeals, some of them have been allowed to go back up on his channel, but I was not able to find the one video that Elder Malcolm was sharing. So I did find this one, and this is an update to the video that Elder Malcolm had shared. All right. So we're going to listen to this. Okay. And like the man says on the screen, he says 1 + 1 = 2, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyone who has any thinking skills or any comprehension skills can put those things together. You know what I'm saying? So let's listen in.
Hey, all right, guys, so we have an update on the bodies in the Mediterranean. You can go watch that video. This is just more information. We did pull the report yesterday. I went over it last night while we were doing a live, while we were looking over DC and all that kind of stuff, trying to make sure we can stay ahead of the missing girls over there. But I want to go over what we pulled. And then we pulled another report today, which just further confirms and gives us some more information. But key intel summary from yesterday was that DNA testing status is that there was no DNA match. It was pretty much extracted and cross-checked against the EU and Interpol missing migrant database with no information. Word for word, Spanish authorities have not released any official DNA match result publicly. However, internal forensic sources via Diario de Marroca on July 2nd confirmed samples were extracted and cross-checked against EU and Interpol missing migrant databases. No matches have been confirmed, indicating the victims may have never been formally processed in any refugee intake system.
And also another factor to take in is the point that these illegals, so-called illegals, let's just say what it is. You know what I'm saying? Jake has been having all this documentation deleted. You know what I'm saying? They've been taking all their papers, all their legal documents, and they've been deleting them. So when family members are arriving at these facilities where they're holding them, and they're presenting them with their slips and presenting them with all their information. You know what I'm saying? Mail information, you know what I'm saying? Driver's license, and this and that, so on and so forth, to prove that they were in here legally. They're saying this person's not in the system. Sorry, you You must have forged those because they're deleting the information in the database. So it's as if they never existed. So let's take that back a little bit.
EU and Interpol missing migrant databases. No matches have been confirmed, indicating the victims may have never been formally processed in any refugee intake system. Autopsy findings. Forensic teams confirm ligature and shackle marks consistent with prolonged restraint. No signs of decompetition from natural drowning patterns. Preliminary cause of death, asphyxia and or hypothermia. Experts note suffocation in confined space before water contact.
Now, the reason why, sorry to keep stopping, but the reason why that there was no signs of normal drowning patterns, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're autopsying a body, and you see that there's a sign of struggle or something like that, you know what I'm saying? It would show that they were drowning, okay, and they was trying to gasp for air, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that this was not present means that they were sedated. They weren't even aware of their environments and their surroundings. You know what I'm saying? So there was no struggling. You know what I'm saying? This is how cruel this devil is, man. How cruel.
Autopsy findings. Forensic teams confirm ligature and shackle marks consistent with prolonged restraint. No signs of decompetition from natural drowning patterns. Preliminary cause of death, asphyxia and or hypothermia. Experts note suffocation in confined space before water contact as a possibility. Now that was important, suffocation in a confined space, because it wasn't in the plane. And that leads me to where we're looking tomorrow. I'm almost fairly certain we have the handoff site. Analysis using eco-stress and VERS overlays, cross-reference sea surface temperature anomalies, drift vectors, thermal drift patch matches, body discovery site, disposal origin near the Algerian basin. Maritime data phase 3 was initiated. We confirmed that 3 transponders were blacked out in the region June 26, 27, 28. Now that's recent, and that's going to play an important part because projection shows more bodies are going to come up around July 7th, possibly July 8th. So I need everybody to look out for that. With vessels registered to front companies in Delaware, Panama, and Malta. Suspected vessel type with an OSV, which is a converted offshore supply vessel. Aviation support. Wizard wasn't no direct anything over the disposal area. I mean, they didn't come out of a plane. There was a Gulfstream jet, but no, it wasn't that. And that jet we noticed a few times, not a big deal. Legal and international escalation. The Geneva level dossier includes thermal overlays, satellite drift paths, shackles, and tampered serials. Comparative case of black site transports. Cases are being prepared for filing with the ICC, UN Working Group on Enforced Disappearances, and the European Court of Human Rights. Now, that was from yesterday. Now we do have an update again. Summary, the updated, and this is our intel update from today. AFG Intel Update Operation Floating Ice, July 4, 2025. System verified with SAMI version V8 Globlock Omnistrata. Mode Forensic Validation Tier 1 Emergency. Geneva level violation confirmed. Summary, the updated forensic drift modeling integrated with global satellite and maritime systems fully confirms the original forecasted disposal zone, timing, and delivery method for the shackled bodies found off the coast of Mallorca and the Balearic Islands. This update incorporated eco-stress VERS, Modus, Sentinel-1 and 2, GOES, Landsat, and additional international satellite arrays. Key forensic findings remain consistent with Geneva Convention level violations. This case is cleared for full legal filing. Drift and disposal model, which has been confirmed, has an estimated drift time for these as 46 days. Directions, supporting data, Modus, no occurrence, goes east, SST, eco-stress thermal overlays, Japan, EU, Canada, India, assistance satellites. Cross confirmation, Sentinel-1, SAR wave pattern. Conclusion, new satellite data aligns within less than 10% of the prior model. Original forecast holds. And essentially what that means is we gave a first model first model was the blue circle. Confirmed model is the red circle. Thermal bloom confirmation. There was a sudden surface heat spike over open water on June 19th. And this is why more gonna drift up. Because this wasn't in relation to the ones that I'm on now. So there is evidence coming in of more. So as we get more and we time more, unfortunately, it's always like peeling back more layers, and sometimes we find more. So with this, we're looking at a projection model. If this is what we think it is, what I think it is, then around July 7th or 8th, some more bodies will start washing ashore.
And they're confirming this by the fact that there was heat signatures that spiked, all right, in the sea, all right, heat signatures that had spiked in that area. You know what I'm saying? So if it spiked, then that means that it was sudden. It was a sudden drop off. All right, and if it was a spike in the heat, then that means it was many bodies. It was multiple bodies, not just 10 to 20. No, it was a bunch of bodies, man. We're talking a bunch of bodies. Okay, so it was a bunch of Jake that they done dropped off out of them planes, man.
So, thermally confirmed the disposal window, legally admissible. It was the heat spike was confirmed by Ecostratospheres, GOES, and Modus Fusion. Disposal type was a mass overboard discharge or ramp drop. Conclusion, thermally confirmed disposal window, legally admissible. Maritime correlation, refined. 3 vessels flagged with blackout during the critical. 1 reflagged Panamanian vessel observed with Vera's exhaust plume on Sentinel-1 wake. Route pattern consistent with detainee transfer vessel. So the route it takes is consistent with the detainee transfer vessels.
It's consistent. The route is consistent with the detainee transfer vessels. And these very vessels will be turning off their transponders, so they won't be found. And they don't go to their destination. They only go and make a U-turn. They make a horseshoe type of maneuver. They go in, they go towards that spot, you know what I'm saying, or wherever they go, and they just do a circle right back to America. You see what I'm saying? Continuing.
Forensic evidence summary: victims were shackled with industrial restraints. Serial numbers were scratched off. GEO and CoreCivic will not acknowledge whether they were theirs or not. They don't want to look at them.
So that means that they shackled these people with industrial shackles. All right? And they scratched off the serial number so they can't be traced. This is how America works. And like I said months ago, remember what I said months ago, the whole world is going to see the true America. The whole world is going to see how these Edomites really work, and the world is going to be they're going to be disgusted by how blatant these devils start operating. You see what I'm saying? So continuing on, man, because as we enter into or as we reach the end of the Edomite kingdom, you know what I'm saying? As we reach this end, the world has to see him for who he really is. The world has to see these Edomites for who they truly, truly are. You see what I'm saying? The world has to see this. Before their kingdom finally comes to a close, the curtain has to be removed. Let me get that real quick. Let's go to Isaiah 25. All right, Isaiah 25:7, it says, "And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations." All right, so all the nations are going to see, all right, see just how devilish these people are. You know what I'm saying?
No IDs, tattoos, or clothing. Autopsies and
Salakia.
will not acknowledge whether they were theirs or not. They don't want to look at them. No IDs, tattoos, or clothing. Autopsies indicate sedation and unconsciousness before drowning. And again, that was on the report from last night. It was suffocation in confined space, possible asphyxia, and hypothermia. We have confirmation today. Autopsies indicate sedation, unconsciousness before drowning. So they were sedated before they were put in the water. Water salinity suggests prolonged shipboard containment. So now that's important too. Shipboard containment is another clue as far as also the confined space. So and there's a reason. It gives me a place to look because of these black sites. Some of them don't fit. We need a transfer point. That transfer point has to have certain criteria, right? And there was only one that matches the criteria. And then once we start going overheaded, it should be about another 5 hours. We're going to start getting some more information on that, and I'll give you guys the information on that when I get it. If it fits and it correlates. If it doesn't, then I'm not going to give it to you, because I'm not the news. These are just facts. I can't make 1 + 1 equal anything other than 2. I'm not judge, media, just giving you the information. Entry model supports cargo type vehicle. Legal status confirmed violation of Geneva Protocol 2, 1977. Grounds for international complaint. Legal drafting of final stages under AFG War Crimes Protocol. Basically, they're trying to compile everything for Geneva level intervention. Action item status, drift model validated, thermal bloom matched, maritime blackout verified, forensic evidence fully documented, legal documents pending final packaging. All findings are time-stamped, satellite confirmed, and court defensible. This case now enters full prosecution posture. So trying to just get it right. But yeah, so guys, when it comes to the body.
All right, Salakia for keep stopping it, man. These guys decide to mow the lawn today, so I'm gonna just let this play out and I'm gonna finish it up.
So trying to just get it right. But yeah, so guys, when it comes to the bodies, I can't give you information I don't have. I can only give you information that I do have, and we use a ton of resources to get information, a ton. There's really, I can't tell you 100%. I can tell you from a probability and an analytic standpoint, I can tell you that this is 1 + 1, but it's up to the judge to say 2. Right. So with that, that's the update. And as I get more, I will give you more. If you guys have any questions, please drop down in the comments. Tag everyone you know. Judges, prosecutors. The Supreme Court gave you guys power. You can take this.
No, there ain't gonna be none of that, man. Because this. Your whole concept of this Constitution and the rule of law, that's out the window now, man. That's out the window, cuz. You know what I'm saying? We at the end here, man. Esau is truly showing his horns. So let's get this in the book of Isaiah chapter 5, verse 15. It reads, "And the mean man shall be brought down, and the mighty man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled." You see what I'm saying? These Edomites ain't gonna get away with this shit. All right, they're not going to keep getting away with this, man. All right. Psalms chapter 140, verse 4, it says, "Keep me, O Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man, who have purposed to overthrow my goings," man. This is the violent man. Esau Edom is that violent man. All right. That vile, that wicked and perverse man. You see? And he's not going to get away with what he's doing, man. You know what I'm saying? I just had to do a lesson on that real quick. You know what I'm saying? You know, You're about to see this devil become more of a tyrant. All right, as we get into the final phase of this prophecy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rucha Kudash. Double honors into the apostles and the Salaki and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.